Waffle Stompers. At Stan's Shoes, kids sat on picnic tables, placed their feet on the benches, tried on Keds, Oxfords, and sandals. I trailed my fingers along the floor to ceiling shelves, looking for the perfect twosome, each one calling, "Pick me, pick me." And there they were, a monument to audacity, to authenticity, lug-soled loafers in cinnamon brown. Not my mother's patent leather Mary Janes, not her selection for me at Easter. These were Waffle Stompers. My brother at 5, me at 9, both wearing plaid-lined jeans and flannel shirts. My favorite Kodak Brownie picture. My thumbs hooked on my pockets like the Cisco Kid. Biggest grin on my face, not a phony smile, not a just say cheese smile, but a real laugh of joy smile. Yes, I had a happy childhood when I was a cowboy. Silver cap gun and red paper caps, 100 shots to a roll. Explosive noise and pungent smell of gunpowder, replaced by boys' adventure stories where I was the hero, the prisoner who never gave up secrets, dreams of subterfuge and sedition. I camouflaged so well from self and others that decades slipped by till a chance sighting of a lesbian band, a hair-on-fire fiddle player, a red-souled dervish of a fiddle player. Once again, I was the wearer of Waffle Stompers. 40 years after the Easter hunt, I unearthed the golden egg. Long after all the other children had grown and gone home. Home found me, late, but not too late.
Poem 1.
If this were my life, 41st rewrite, I would sift in more daffodils in springtime, more reds and yellow in the fall, goat cheese and Pinot Grigio with a terrier on my lap. I would add summer afternoons with my fishing rod, shallow lake, the only sound the plop of a solitary frog. I would climb Mount Kilimanjaro just to see the view. I would study at La Sorbonne and fall in love with Paris, a French woman who wears V-neck sweaters over bare skin. I would lie back on a blanket in an open meadow while I watched the Perseids in August. Not to be overly critical, but if this were my life, I would delete whole stanzas on illness. Opera does it better. Divorce and abuse are overdone. I would eliminate melancholy and regret, especially regret. Useless as a rotting rope. Frankly, had I planned this, there would be a more upbeat ending, perhaps an ecstasy of whirling dervishes, a showing at La Biennale, a reading at the National Mall followed by fireworks, a reception where everyone remembers how magnificent I was at negotiating such an unmapped life. On Hadrian's Wall, with our fingers, we trace lichen descended from lichen that etches stones first chiseled by a Roman soldier. Between the meadows of Britain and the crags of the highlands, farthest reach of the Roman Empire, Hadrian built his wall. Each soldier stood watch in drizzle and sleet, torn sandal strap flapping in the wind. From this wall he guarded fields, muddy paths, tracked by innocuous sheep. Did he miss his homeland? Not Rome, but some conquered village in Gaul, where he was wrenched from his father's dead hand. Sheltered, clothed, and fed with fellow conscripts, former hunters and farmers, seduction more effective than brute force. Each harbors a memory of home, isolated by his mother tongue. Somewhere in our DNA persists a magnet that draws us ever homeward. Like a river in reverse, we recede in time and space till we are all in the Eden of our recollection. And when we are there, naked, will we finally recognize each other in ourselves? In praise of lamb and bee. Even were you to slip from the lap of Buddha, there are 10 commandments, a Sermon on the Mount, verses from the Quran. If all else fails, you could crawl on a pilgrim's way, lie prostrate under stars fixed in place, long before we built this broken world. Alas, we know so little, believe too much. Silent lamentations for poor Galileo, who knew much, believed not enough. You ask if I believe, whatever that means, the same as you believe, whatever that is, a tribal impulse that serves us ill. Nourish your soul as a child curled in grass, a herder of sheep with untroubled sleep. Observe ewes with lambs grazing in pastures, or honeybees dozing half drunk on lavender. Bear witness to peace of their sacred world.
I think she has one more to go.
I ran out of battery.
Give me fair warning. Warn me off the washed-out bridge, the one dangling into the river. The scree along the trail, the history of avalanche. Name the bears that roam these mountains. Name the mountains, so I may meet them one by one, overwhelmed by their majesty, in awe of geology. Show me the camp of lost travelers. Name the cascades trolling the river, death's door, devil's post hole, widowmaker. Describe the cold nights you have sat awake, heat waves you have slept through. Teach me coyote's yip and the wail of wolf. Show me how to bind a wound, so I may doze under cedar, looking out over echo lakes, watching eagles soar and dive, grateful that on this day I am not mouse, knowing that one day I'll be clutched by talons. Remind me when to surrender to air, so I may empty my pack of excess. Though I left the foothills 3 years ago, I felt very concerned and connected with the Caldor fire. The fire that came within 1 mile of the cabin of my childhood. Before the flames. 1. At 7,000 feet, spring is fickle, summer erratic. Arrive too early, hoping to find lupin and gentian blooming in alpine meadows. The path is blocked by crystalline drifts, glistening like diamond shards. Melting rivulets undermine the trail. Raucous jays scold from a solitary western white pine. arrive late in the season, and afternoon thunder showers plummet to 33 degrees with six-sided flakes. The two-story cabin is testament to generations, families who built it over summers and weekends. For a child, 2 weeks at elevation is freedom from bedtimes and baths, saving a splash in cold water from the outside pump. I lick my fingers, eat dust, catch fish with worms I wrangle onto a hook, wiping the yellow goo into my jeans. Mother recedes into the background. Pancakes burn on an old wood stove. For her, nothing works right. Father knows all that matters here. From the warmth of my sleeping bag at the head of the stairs, I peek through the floorboards, looking for adults boiling coffee, awaiting the scent of the wood fire, the sound of bacon beginning to crackle. I slide into flannel-lined jeans to soften the chill, swap into shorts by noon on Echo Lakes Trail. At age 4, my first hike, first of decades of hikes. Blue canvas keds slip on loose scree that clunks when plate tips upon plate. Hot granite slabs burn through to the soles of my feet, but when the trail dips down to the lake, translucent as stained glass, where the green-headed mallards dabble, head down, tail up, in submerged grass. A wade in the water cools red and blistered toes. I, whose feet go numb so quickly, claim a reward year after year for hardiness in standing barefoot, ankle deep, in snowmelt. 2. After Labor Day, the trail's empty. Stillness of the Sierra is broken only by the snap of grasshoppers vaulting from path to twig. We return with children of our own. Lizards still bask on speckled boulders, igneous rock of quartz, feldspar, and mica. Nervous chipmunks anticipate winter. Dust rises round each step I take, drifting brown onto sagging socks. Fishing rod on shoulders, creel banging low on knees, I lead the way to the shaded glen that endures on late summer trickle, nurturing columbine, pine drops, the occasional mountain aster, and sheltered the white-breasted nuthatch spiraling down trunks, probing for grubs, flying to the neighboring treetop to repeat the cycle. My raisins taste of sunscreen and sweat. I hang on till Tamarack Lake. On the very best day, I will fall asleep on the giant boulder that juts into the lake. A tug on my line wakens me with a fish who has graciously volunteered. On the descent, thunderclouds rupture, tattoo the granite. Chipmunks vanish, glen redolent with fresh ozone and green. At the cabin, father guts the fish. Children proudly measure fish against fish. Each eats their own catch, slightly burned, still pink and flaky inside. Thank you.